U.S. Green Beret, a member of the House Armed Services Committee. Welcome to the show. What is your input with respect to the latest developments on the raid of Baghdadi this morning?
So there's a few key factors here. One, I find it somewhat surprising that Baghdadi was near Idlib, in a small village between Idlib and Aleppo. That is a witch's brew of al-Qaeda, Turkish forces, Russian-dominated airspace, and of course the Assad regime that's dominating there. So it's interesting that that's where it almost reminds me of Osama bin Laden, where he went hiding almost in plain sight, just a few miles from the Pakistani military headquarters. So there was a lot of coordination that had to go on to strike him and hit him in this area. That's one. Number two, look, this is the message, and this is the important message to terrorists around the world. You can run, but you can't hide forever. We will find you. And my hat's off and my heart's out to our special operations forces who, while everyone was watching the World Series last night and enjoying free air that we all breathe as Americans, they were out there on the wall taking care of the nation's business, supported by the CIA, the NSA, and so many others to keep America safe.
Well said, and amen. That spot in Syria, in Idlib, as you're talking about, which has so many overlapping factors, the fact that he was there, what does that tell you about the state of ISIS, of his leadership? I mean, what can we glean from that?
So it's interesting that ISIS had split off from al-Qaeda. When Baghdadi became the head of what became ISIS, it was al-Qaeda in Iraq, and a lot of critics, and I was one of them, blamed the Obama administration from pulling out of Iraq too soon and creating the conditions for al-Qaeda to then turn into ISIS. Now, there has been a split between ISIS and al-Qaeda. Given that al-Qaeda is in Idlib, that may have indicated a convergence. I think that will come out in the coming days. But it also indicates to me that al-Baghdadi really wasn't in operational control of ISIS anymore. He was much more of a figurehead. Keeping him alive was important symbolically for ISIS, and taking him out, I think, will have not much in the way of operational impact, but has a huge symbolic impact for ISIS.
Congressman, I wonder if you could weigh in as well as to bring this back home. You're laying out some very important strategic decisions in the days ahead in the region there in the Mideast. But back here at home, earlier in the program, one of your colleagues, Devin Nunes, was on, and there was something he said that really struck me, among other things. He said very quickly that the Intelligence Committee has not had a briefing on some of these kinds of matters in about a month because they've been focused on impeachment. That's right. Talk about, isn't that kind of interesting, the contrast of these big moments happening, these big challenges around the world, and the House Intelligence Committee right now is focused on domestic politics?
Yeah, that's all the Intel community is doing right. I mean, all the Intel Committee is doing right now is focusing on impeachment. I think Representative Nunes is absolutely correct.